Exploring history often leaves us astonished.
Purify the waters of our life-giving river.
And one such intriguing era is ancient Egypt, with its enigmatic practices and beliefs set against the backdrop of the majestic pyramids.
Welcome to Egypt. This is Cheops here, the biggest pyramid in the world.
And the mysterious tales of the Nile. Ancient Egypt holds a unique place in history. In this video, we delve into the 15 most bizarre things that were considered normal in ancient Egypt, unraveling their cultural significance. Join us on this journey through the past and uncover the eerie aspects of this fascinating civilization. Number 15. Ingesting gold for immortality. The perpetual pursuit of everlasting life has captivated the human imagination for countless epochs. The age-old Egyptians, driven by an unyielding thirst to surpass mortality, engaged in a captivating custom, the ingestion of aurum. Armed with an intricate comprehension of the human physique and equipped with an extensive apothecary, the Egyptians incorporated aurum as a pivotal constituent in their healing arsenal. Liquid aurum, often imbibed, emerged as a conduit to achieve prolonged life or, perhaps, even perpetual existence. Its formulation exhibited diversity, ranging from finely pulverized particles blended with aqua vitae or vinous spirits, to serving as an indispensable element in alchemical elixirs and magical concoctions. The Venerable Eber's Papyrus, among the most ancient extant medical manuscripts, meticulously chronicled the medicinal applications of aurum. Remedies featuring aurum were prescribed for a spectrum of maladies, encompassing physical afflictions and spiritual or cerebral conditions. Additionally, aurum found application in revitalization procedures, endeavoring to resurrect youthful vigor. This intriguing custom was not confined to the common denizens. It flourished among the pharaohs and the aristocracy, who possessed exclusive access to these precious reserves. Revered as deities in the flesh, pharaohs, in their quest for eternal life, would partake in the ingestion of aurum. Their conviction in consuming the substance of the deities aspired to infuse them with divine attributes, bestowing immortality upon them. Interestingly, despite the seemingly mystical nature of this age-old ritual, the ingestion of aurum was largely benign owing to its chemically inert characteristics. The ancients, unwittingly, were on the precipice of a scientific verity. Modern science acknowledges aurum's utility in diverse medical applications, including specific interventions against malignant neoplasms. Viewed through a contemporary perspective, the custom of consuming aurum for immortality may appear uncanny or even fantastical. Nevertheless, it provides a riveting glimpse into the profound yearning of the ancient Egyptians for an enduring existence. The radiant charm of aurum, perpetual and resplendent, presented them with a palpable means to grapple with life's elusive enigmas, enabling them to seize command over their destiny and pursue the alluring vow of an unceasing existence. Number 14. Mummification and the art of preserving the dead. In ancient Egypt, the process of mummification stood as a crucial ritual to prepare the departed for the afterlife. This intricate and time-intensive procedure was conducted by skilled embalmers, who were frequently individuals of the priestly or elite class. Although the preservation of the deceased may be viewed as eerie in contemporary times, it was deeply ingrained in the religious convictions and cultural customs of the ancient Egyptians. The multifaceted mummification process comprised a series of meticulous steps spanning up to 70 days. Initially, the lifeless body underwent a ceremonial cleansing and purification. Subsequently, a specialized technique involving the extraction of the brain through the nasal passage was performed. Simultaneously, internal organs, including the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines, were carefully removed through an incision on the left side of the abdomen. These organs found their preservation in canopic jars, or were wrapped in linen and returned to the body cavity. Further in the process, the body underwent dehydration using natron, a naturally occurring salt, over approximately 40 days. This phase effectively eliminated all moisture, preventing decomposition. Following this, the corpse underwent a meticulous cleansing and was coated with resin or oils to safeguard the skin. Ultimately, the body was enveloped in multiple layers of linen bandages. Each layer, often embellished with protective amulets and charms, was sealed with a resin or gum substance, ensuring the body's integrity for its journey into the afterlife. Far beyond mere preservation, mummification in ancient Egypt was a profound and elaborate cultural practice tied to their beliefs in the divine journey beyond mortal existence. Number 13. The practice of dentistry and ancient Egyptian. In the realm of ancient Egypt, dental health wasn't merely an afterthought, but a pivotal facet of healthcare and overall well-being. It underscores the remarkable understanding that this civilization possessed regarding dental care and oral hygiene, showcasing an advanced perspective for its time. While the field of modern dentistry has evolved significantly since the era of the Pharaohs, delving into the examination of dental health in ancient Egypt offers intriguing glimpses into the daily lives, dietary habits, and medical approaches of this ancient society. The primary culprits behind dental issues in ancient Egypt stemmed from a diet rich in carbohydrates, particularly bread and beer, coupled with the intrusion of grit and sand into food during the milling process. These factors collectively contributed to a prevalent occurrence of tooth decay, gum disease, and tooth wear among the populace. To combat these challenges, ancient Egyptian dental practitioners employed an array of techniques and tools to alleviate pain and treat dental conditions. Textual evidence extracted from the Ebers Papyrus and the Edwin Smith Papyrus, two of the most comprehensive medical texts from ancient Egypt, delineates various dental treatments and remedies. These encompass the use of honey and natural herbs renowned for their antimicrobial properties, tooth extractions, and the management of dental abscesses. Complementing these textual insights, archaeological findings, such as the unearthing of dental tools like bronze forceps and bone or ivory toothpicks, further substantiate the existence of sophisticated dental care practices in ancient Egypt. Beyond mere treatments, the ancient Egyptians were proactive in maintaining oral health. The utilization of chew sticks, frayed at one end to serve as makeshift toothbrushes, was a widespread practice. Additionally, the application of natron, a naturally occurring mineral salt, served as an early form of tooth cleaning powder, an ancient precursor to toothpaste. Number 12. The concept of Maat. While not overtly unsettling by conventional standards, the ancient Egyptian concept of Maat exudes a mysterious charm. At the heart of the Egyptian worldview, Maat embodied truth, balance, order, harmony, law, morality, and justice. However, it also held another facet intricately linked to the fate of one's soul in the afterlife, an intriguing judgment process that determined eligibility for eternal life or oblivion. Maat wasn't a mere abstract principle. It took the form of a goddess, often portrayed with an ostrich feather gracing her head. This feather served as the symbol of Maat, representing the embodiment of truth and order against the weight of chaos and falsehood. In a captivating ritual, the deceased's heart was placed on one scale and the feather of Maat on the other. If the heart equaled or was lighter in weight, it signified a righteous life adhering to the principles of Maat, bestowing the individual with the bliss of eternal life in the paradisiacal field of reeds, an ethereal realm mirroring their earthly existence. However, if the heart proved heavier with sins and misdeeds, it failed the test, leading to a grave consequence. The heart would be consumed by Ammit, the devourer of the dead, a formidable creature with the head of a crocodile, torso of a lion, and hindquarters of a hippopotamus. The one who failed faced a second death, an irreversible fate with no chance of return. Depictions of this judgment scene adorned funerary texts and tomb walls, serving as a vivid reminder of the unavoidable trial awaiting each individual. This profound belief in moral reckoning significantly shaped daily life, instilling a commitment to moral and ethical conduct. Maat, therefore, became a captivating presence, a spectral judge reminding Egyptians of life's fleeting nature and the eternal consequences of their actions. Living under Maat's vigilant gaze was a continual dance with the enigmatic reality that every action held significance, not just in the present life but in the cosmic scales of justice that would ultimately determine their eternal destiny. Number 11. Pharaonic dwarfs. Status and symbolism. Dwarves occupied a distinctive and esteemed position in ancient Egyptian society, reflecting the intricate social and cultural dynamics of this ancient civilization. While contemporary societies may unfortunately perceive dwarfism as a disability or an unfortunate condition, ancient Egypt held a contrasting view, where dwarfs were highly respected individuals enjoying special privileges. Examining the roles and representations of dwarfs in ancient Egyptian art, texts, and daily life provides valuable insights into the values and beliefs that shaped this captivating culture. Dwarfs were frequently appointed to significant positions within the royal courts and households of the pharaohs. They served as artisans, jewelers, dancers, and entertainers among other roles, being highly valued for their skills and talents. Notably, the renowned dwarf Sanib held the prestigious title of Chief of the Dwarfs under Pharaoh Khufu. immortalized in a beautifully crafted statue alongside his wife and children. Artistic representations of dwarfs in tomb paintings, statues, and various artworks from ancient Egypt depict them engaging in diverse activities, such as participating in religious rituals, crafting, or providing entertainment. These depictions underscore that dwarfs were regarded as integral members of society, treated with respect and admiration. The elevated status of dwarfs in ancient Egyptian society also stems from their symbolic association with certain gods and divine qualities. Dwarfs were considered under the protection of the gods Bees and Ta, both depicted with dwarf-like features. Particularly Bees, a popular god associated with protection, childbirth, and the home, further amplified the significance and reverence accorded to dwarfs. In essence, the unique position of dwarfs in ancient Egyptian society reflects a cultural perspective that valued diversity, talent, and the intrinsic worth of individuals, offering a fascinating glimpse into the nuanced beliefs that shaped this ancient civilization. Number 10. The Pharaohs' marriage to their siblings. In ancient Egyptian society, marriages within close family circles, notably among the pharaohs and their siblings, may raise eyebrows in contemporary times. Nevertheless, these unions were a crucial part of the social, political, and religious framework of the era, serving specific purposes within the intricate world of ancient Egypt. To comprehend why such relationships were deemed acceptable and even necessary, it's essential to explore the cultural and ideological motivations behind these practices. Pharaohs, as the rulers of ancient Egypt, were considered divine beings descended from the gods, serving as the earthly representation of divine power. Their fundamental role was to maintain the cosmic order of the universe, known as Maat. Marrying siblings, also seen as of divine origin, aimed to safeguard the purity of their bloodline, ensuring that their descendants inherited their divine status. Sibling marriages among the pharaohs also served political functions by cementing alliances, averting power struggles, and ensuring the continuity of the royal family. As members of the same family, siblings turned spouses were expected to share loyalty to the crown, minimizing the risk of betrayal or rebellion. This practice contributed to upholding a steady, centralized power structure and perpetuating the royal lineage. The cultural norms and beliefs of ancient Egypt played a pivotal role in justifying these familial marriages. Many Egyptian myths and religious texts showcased divine sibling couples like Isis and Osiris, prominent figures in the Egyptian pantheon. By emulating these divine relationships, the pharaohs aimed to fortify their godlike status and legitimize their rule. While these practices may seem unconventional in contemporary eyes, they were deeply woven into the fabric of ancient Egyptian society, driven by unique cultural and religious perspectives. Number 9. Servant sacrifice. One of the more disconcerting elements of ancient Egyptian life centered around the ritual of servant sacrifice, commonly referred to as retainer sacrifice. This unsettling tradition, particularly notable during the early dynastic period, notably in the First Dynasty, witnessed pharaohs being entombed with a group of their attendants. The underlying belief driving this eerie practice was deeply rooted in the profound Egyptian conviction in the afterlife. For them, death didn't mark an end, but a continuation of life in a different realm, with comparable needs and demands. Consequently, servants were deliberately put to rest alongside their masters, destined to serve them in the eternal journey beyond. The graves of these sacrificed servants were meticulously filled with household items, tools, and provisions, all aimed at ensuring a comfortable afterlife for both the master and their entourage. The methods employed to sacrifice these servants varied. Some historical accounts suggest poisoning, while others hint at more brutal means, such as strangulation or beheading. The choice of method likely aimed to preserve the body, a crucial aspect for an individual's resurrection and sustained existence in the afterlife. As the sands of time shifted, the practice of retainer sacrifice gradually dwindled and eventually vanished, making room for the utilization of Shabti clay figurines inscribed with magical spells. These figurines were intended to assume the responsibilities of the deceased in the afterlife, symbolizing a shift from human sacrifice to a more symbolically representative form. This transition reflects the cultural and ethical progress evident in ancient Egyptian society. The historical legacy of retainer sacrifice though disconcerting, serves as a poignant reminder of the extremes in ancient practices. It sheds light on the considerable authority exercised by the pharaohs concerning matters of life and death, and the pervasive belief system intricately woven into every aspect of ancient Egyptian society. While unsettling, the practice of servant sacrifice provides a glimpse into the ancient Egyptians' worldview, offering insights into their beliefs surrounding death and the afterlife, the nuances of social hierarchy, and the intricate rituals that defined their culture. The silent tombs of these sacrificed servants resonate with the haunting reality that, in a world vastly different from ours, death did not always signify liberation from servitude, but, in certain instances, a perpetuation of it into eternity. Number 8. Cannibalism, myth or reality. The discussion surrounding cannibalism in ancient Egyptian society has been a source of extensive debate and speculation among historians and archaeologists. Although there are accounts suggesting the existence of cannibalistic practices, it remains uncertain whether these instances were isolated or part of a broader cultural tradition. Despite the unsettling nature of cannibalism in the context of modern sensibilities, it is imperative to scrutinize the available evidence and consider the cultural backdrop for a more nuanced understanding of ancient Egyptian society. Textual references from the period, such as the pyramid texts, include passages that appear to allude to cannibalism. Notably, the cannibal hymn found in the tomb of Pharaoh Yunus describes the king consuming the body parts of gods to assimilate their divine powers. However, scholars widely argue that these texts should be interpreted metaphorically, symbolizing a desire for power and eternal life rather than a literal endorsement of consuming human flesh. Despite this, there exists limited archaeological evidence that may suggest incidents of cannibalism in ancient Egypt. Some sites have uncovered human remains exhibiting signs of butchering or defleshing, potentially indicating cannibalistic activities. However, the evidence is inconclusive, making it difficult to ascertain whether these findings represent isolated events, ritualistic practices, or the consequences of extreme conditions such as famine. Number 7. Curse of the Pharaohs. The idea of the Pharaoh's curse is something many people talk about. It's in stories and movies where the restless spirits of the pharaohs punish those who wake them up. But this idea comes from a long time ago in Egypt. They believed in curses and angry spirits guarding the tombs of the pharaohs. The pharaohs were seen as really special, like they talked to the gods. So when they died, they got special burials, especially in the Valley of the Kings. Their tombs were filled with treasures to take to the afterlife. These treasures were not just things, they were important for the pharaoh to live forever. So it was super important to keep these tombs safe, and the curse was a strong warning. The curse was usually written in pictures on the tomb's door or inside on special things. It said bad things would happen to anyone who opened the tomb. One curse said that if you open the tomb, you'll get sick and no doctor can help you. The Egyptians thought words had special power, like magic, so the curse was a big deal. Some people say the curse caused bad things to happen to those who opened the tombs, like getting sick or having accidents. Even if scientists say it's not true, people still like to talk about the curse. It's interesting because it makes us think about ancient Egyptians and how much they cared about their kings even after they died. The curse is like a spooky reminder of how much they wanted their kings to rest in peace forever. Number 6. Sacred animal cults and ritual sacrifices. Ancient Egyptian society was recognized for its profound respect for animals, playing a pivotal role in religious and cultural beliefs. Sacred animal cults, dedicated to specific animals seen as embodying the characteristics of certain gods or goddesses, were widespread throughout Egypt. These cults honored animals ranging from formidable creatures like crocodiles and lions to more common ones such as cats and birds. While certain aspects of these cults may be disconcerting to modern sensibilities, understanding the cultural and religious significance behind these practices provides valuable insights into ancient Egyptian beliefs. Many of these cults revolved around temples devoted to specific deities, where worshippers offered gifts and performed rituals to honor these animals, considered manifestations or symbols of the gods they represented. For instance, the Apis bull was linked with the god Ptah, venerated in Memphis, while the crocodile gods were revered in the city of Crocodilopolis. Ritual sacrifices were integral to sacred animal cults in ancient Egypt, where animals were carefully selected and raised for the purpose of being sacrificed to appease the gods, ensure protection, and bring prosperity to the people. These animals were treated with great respect, adorned with valuable jewelry or other embellishments, and ritually purified before the act of sacrifice. Following the sacrifice, the animal's body was typically mummified and interred in a sacred necropolis. In some instances, significant quantities of these mummified animals have been unearthed at burial sites, underscoring the scale and importance of these rituals in ancient Egyptian society. Before we move on, here's today's subscriber's pick. In this image, we observe what appears to be an ancient Egyptian medical practice, potentially related to gynecological or reproductive health. The scene depicts a physician administering treatment to a reclined woman in a manner that might seem unconventional or uncomfortable to modern viewers. Despite the peculiar nature of the depicted practice, it's essential to recognize that ancient medical methods, including those in Egypt, were often rooted in cultural beliefs and proved effective based on the understanding of their time. While the approach may strike us as unusual today, it's crucial to approach historical practices with an understanding of the context and knowledge available at the time. Ancient societies, including Egypt, had their own medical traditions that were shaped by their cultural, religious, and scientific perspectives. Considering the effectiveness of such practices within the context of their era is an important aspect of appreciating the historical development of medical knowledge. So viewers, what do you think about this practice? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Number 5. The use of human body parts in medicinal practices. Ancient Egyptian medicine was a captivating blend of science, magic, and religious beliefs. Healers and physicians of that era were highly esteemed for their perceived knowledge and skill. Their treatments often involved intricate rituals and the use of diverse medicinal ingredients, including human body parts. While the use of such body parts may seem unsettling to modern sensibilities, delving into the cultural context of ancient Egyptian medicine helps us understand the reasons behind these practices. Ancient Egyptian physicians held the belief that the human body possessed potent healing properties. The incorporation of body parts into medicine can be traced back to the concept of sympathetic magic, a prevailing idea in numerous ancient cultures. It posited that body parts from deceased individuals, especially those with unique attributes or abilities in life, could transfer those properties to the living when used as medicinal remedies. Various human tissues, bones, and fluids found applications in a wide range of treatments. For instance, skull fragments or bone powder were considered effective in treating head-related ailments, while human fat was used in preparing balms and ointments for wounds or skin conditions. Mummies, believed to contain powerful healing energy, were ground into powder and utilized as an ingredient in medicines for diverse ailments. Although the use of human body parts in medicine may appear macabre to us today, the ancient Egyptians approached these practices with a sincere belief in their efficacy. At that time, their understanding of human anatomy and disease was limited, and they sought to cure illnesses using the tools and knowledge available to them. Recognizing the cultural and historical context helps us appreciate the complexities of ancient Egyptian medicine. Number 4. The Nile River, the lifeblood of ancient Egyptian civilization. The Nile River was unquestionably the lifeblood of ancient Egyptian civilization, exerting a pivotal influence on its culture, economy, and daily life. Its profound significance cannot be overstated, as it not only provided crucial resources, but also governed the very rhythm of life in Egypt. By delving into the various dimensions of the Nile's impact, we can develop a deeper understanding of its importance and recognize the essential role it played in shaping and sustaining ancient Egyptian civilization. At the core of this influence was the annual flooding of the Nile, which served as a fundamental source of agricultural fertility in Egypt. The natural event deposited nutrient-rich silt across the floodplains, facilitating the cultivation of diverse crops such as wheat, barley, and flax. Agriculture stood as the cornerstone of the Egyptian economy, and the predictable flooding cycle empowered farmers to devise advanced agricultural techniques, contributing to the prosperity and stability of the civilization. Expanding beyond agriculture, the Nile functioned as the primary transportation route throughout Egypt, facilitating the efficient movement of goods and people along its expansive length. The river interconnected various settlements and cities, fostering trade, communication, and cultural exchange. Whether transporting raw materials like stone and wood, or finished products such as food, textiles, and pottery, Boats crafted from papyrus or wooden planks played a crucial role in the economic and social connectivity of the region. In the realm of religious and spiritual beliefs, the Nile held profound significance for the ancient Egyptians. It was perceived as a divine gift, particularly associated with the god Hapi, linked to the annual inundation. The river, seen as a manifestation of the divine, became the focal point of numerous rituals, festivals, and ceremonies that revolved around the Nile and its annual flooding. Number 3. Dream interpretation and supernatural omens. Long ago in Egypt, people thought a lot about dreams and signs from the gods. Even though today we might find these ideas strange, they were important for the Egyptians and affected how they made choices every day. Dreams were seen as messages from the gods, telling about the future or giving warnings. People, including leaders and regular folks, wanted to understand these dreams, so they looked for wise individuals who could help. These dream interpreters would look at symbols and images to give advice based on what they saw. Old writings, like the Chester Beatty Papyrus, tell us about dreams and what people thought they meant. They believed dreams could tell them about health, relationships, politics, and religious matters. Apart from dreams, Egyptians also paid attention to unusual signs in nature. Things like the movements of the stars, strange weather, or the behavior of animals were thought to be messages from the gods. Priests and knowledgeable people carefully watched and tried to understand these signs, guiding decisions on important things like farming, battles, and religious ceremonies. So, dream interpretation and paying attention to signs were big parts of how ancient Egyptians saw and dealt with the world around them. Number 2. Bizarre pregnancy and birth customs. In ancient Egypt, the customs related to pregnancy and childbirth, much like other aspects of their society, included practices that may seem unusual to us today. Pregnancy was viewed as a divine and blessed state, accompanied by various rituals and superstitions. A common practice involved the use of magical spells and amulets to safeguard both the expecting mother and the unborn child. Pregnant women often adorned themselves with amulets depicting Taweret, the hippopotamus goddess associated with childbirth, to ward off evil spirits and ensure a safe delivery. Additionally, they utilized birth bricks, which were clay blocks inscribed with magical spells to aid in the birthing process. One peculiar custom involved a method to determine the gender of the unborn child. The expecting mother would urinate on bags of wheat and barley, and if the wheat sprouted, it indicated a female child, while sprouting barley indicated a male child. Interestingly, this method of gender prediction has demonstrated surprising accuracy when tested in modern times. The actual process of childbirth was surrounded by ritual, with women giving birth in a squatting position and assisted by midwives. The umbilical cord was cut using a sharp flint knife, believed to be purer than metal. The placenta, thought to possess protective properties, was either buried in a special place or preserved. While these pregnancy and birth customs may appear strange from our contemporary viewpoint, they highlight the deep reverence of ancient Egyptians for the miracle of life and their enduring efforts to safeguard it. Number 1. Magic and amulets. Protection and power. A long time ago in Egypt, people believed in magic for many parts of their lives, like medicine, religion, friendships, and how their leaders ruled. They thought magic had the power to keep them safe, make them better, and bring good things into their lives. A key part of this belief was using small objects called amulets. These were like little charms that held magical energy to help with both physical and spiritual things. Amulets were made from different materials like stone, clay, metal, or glass, and they could look like gods, animals, or symbols. Each amulet was thought to have special powers. For example, an Eye of Horus amulet was believed to protect and heal, while a Jed Pillar amulet stood for being strong and lasting a long time. People from all walks of life in ancient Egypt would wear or carry these amulets to bring good luck, keep away bad things, or deal with specific worries like health or having a safe childbirth. These amulets were also important when someone died. They were placed with mummies or in the burial site to give protection and guidance in life after death. Making these amulets required skill and knowledge of materials, art, and the symbols that had meaning. The process of making them was seen as a kind of magic, too. The people creating them would say prayers or words believed to give the amulets the powers they wanted. This connection between magic, belief, and making things shows how important magic was in the lives of ancient Egyptians. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.